Leute, schön, dass ihr wieder eingeschaltet habt zu einem neuen Verdansk-Spezial. Heute Abend um 7 Uhr wurden die ersten In-Game-Videos Naja, auf jeden Fall gab es da neue Infos zu Call of Duty's neuen Action-Hit Cold War. Ich bin gespannt, auf jeden Fall. Wie ihr seht, ich habe wieder die Samsung Galaxy A Gamerbrille auf. Danke Samsung, ihr bereichert mein Leben damit. Ja, was es alles dort gibt und was alles auf uns zukommt, das zeige ich euch jetzt.
Die nun folgenden Szenen sind vom Protagonisten zur Stimmjustierung durch Anabolika nachträglich synchronisiert. Postanabole Gehirnschädigungen sind verantwortlich für die zeitliche Verschiebung zwischen Mundbewegung und Sprache.
My name is Brittany Weidelman. I'm a level designer. I'm Kendall Snow, associate level designer.
I'm Brittany Perella, producer.
I'm Matt Gutris, senior level designer.
In Satellite, a top-secret American recon satellite has
Lost power and crashed in the deserts of Angola. With higher DJI forces closing in,
now it's a race to secure the crash site.
What I love about Satellite is the fact that it's just this amazing natural space.
Because larger maps have more components, we can apply more details into maps like Satellite, which make them feel even more natural. The satellite at the center is like a king of the hill. Anyone who wants it has to run toward you, because it's raised higher than the rest of the map.
I'm usually playing one of two ways. All in, full hand, dying again and again. Or in objective modes, I'll flank and get the jump on people. Satellite scratches both of those itches. Even though it's an outdoor space, the map's two different regions mean I can play long and short range tactics.
I'll be honest, I am trash with a sniper rifle, but a shotgun, that I can feel. I have always been a big fan of close quarters combat, and there is great cat and mouse style gameplay in Satellite.
The Crash Satellite is a super fun spot to try
Am I
out.
supposed to be doing something right now?
Predict which...
Hang on a minute. Yeah, Whips, do me a favor, tell Garrett to put the reaction to this on the second channel, by the way. The second YouTube channel. I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. Whips, am I supposed to be doing something? Are we about to play? When do I play, Whips?
East and West collide on the open seas in a top secret mission.
Inspired by a real-life event,
UDM.
Project Azorian, CIA, JSOC, and Soviet forces converged to recover a sunken prototype nuclear Soviet submarine from the ocean floor.
The calm waters of Armada explode into massive naval conflict as players battle for control of large naval vessels.
With no lanes walling you in, players can engage on ships' decks, in the water, and on vehicles like Wake Runners and gunboats. Armada is chaos in the best way.
This really cool map that gives this amazing sense of exploration. There are so many little individual areas to find and new ways to surround or flank your enemies and get the upper hand.
Jungs und Mädels, das sieht hier mal richtig geil aus. Also diese Schiffe. Was ich aber auch noch weiß, ist, dass sich an dem Geräuschtuning einiges tut. Das heißt, für mich, der im Ghillie-Anzug leise oder langsam unterwegs ist, ist es fast unmöglich für dich, mich zu hören und darauf zu reagieren. Das wird meine KD verändern, revolutionieren wird es die KD. Ich werde...
Wandering through the streets, there's a bunch of cars, and there's tall buildings on either side of it.
There's this sense that you've been dropped into history.
I like this map. I played this one.
First thing I do is run right to the center, because that's where all lanes cross the Moscow map. And eventually, it doesn't take long, people are going to run through the metro station. So you can just sit there and wait, but chances are there's going to be people running right to your line of fire right off the bat.
It's a classic three-lane map where teamwork really makes the dream work.
I knew I liked that map a lot. It's got those 3 lanes.
Ja, das freut dann auch den Kunstinteressierten. Man kann durch die Moskauer U-Bahn laufen. Bevor ich es vergesse, Denkt an die 1000 Abonnenten-Challenge. Bis Ende des Jahres möchte ich die voll bekommen. Ich möchte ein 100 € Gaming-Pack raushauen. Infos findet ihr darunter soul.bplace.net. Auf Facebook und Co. hast nicht gesehen. Wenn euch das Video gefallen hat, dann lasst ein Abonnement da und ein Like. Ansonsten über Kommentare freue ich mich. Danke.
January 17, 1984. This location is heavily influenced by Miami's famous, or perhaps infamous, Ocean Drive. This is a night map, but one unlike players have seen before.
You can sneak through dark, shadowy alleys, go out onto the beach, out into the ocean.
You can dive in the water and wade along the coast to get the drop on the other side.
Or you can just go right down the street and bask in the neon light.
The first time I played through Miami, I could hear this 80s nightclub music playing through the walls of one of the buildings. The little details make it
That reminds me of
lifelike
Doc.
and becomes this joy to
Sage.
experience.
Basically, my goal is to never be on the main street in the center because that is sniper heaven and that is Brittany hell. So I always go and try to flank and get those snipers from the back.
Our art and design teams worked really hard to bring the best possible night experience to the players. You'll see that play out when you sneak in the shadows on the beach or engage enemies in the center strip.
It really makes people feel like they're in Miami in the 80s. It's pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure my YouTube video goes live in 4 minutes,
In Crossroads,
so I hope
Naval
that's
Square,
okay.
a large Soviet missile convoy is on its way to the border.
I'm about to get
Special forces
DMCA
dispatched
on my main
alongside
YouTube video.
MI6 to ambush the convoy and secure the weapons before all hell breaks loose. It's one of our most cinematic maps with a boots on the ground feel that feels pulled from the campaign.
Your team will want to hold down and protect its own outpost to guarantee access to one of these tanks. But infantry combat doesn't take a backseat in Crossroads, as natural terrain and foliage masks movements and provides tactical advantages.
There's a bunch of snowmobiles when you first spawn, and it's a mad dash to grab one. And now, running people over with the snowmobile is my favorite thing to do.
Each environment changes the dynamic of how you play and caters to unique loadouts. Crossroads is a bigger map, and that allows you to play the way you want to play.
The beaches of Miami, a frozen over lake, the open ocean. Our visual research department racked up miles visiting them all. Because if you're going to deploy around the globe in this game, that required them to do the same. The mission for our artist is absolute authenticity. Step one in that process is photo scanning thousands of real-world objects, terrains, and materials. Those assets ensure our upgraded, physically based renderer delivers the best-looking Black Ops yet. True 4K, high dynamic range with the true color and tone, ray tracing on systems that support it, photometric lighting courtesy of our Luminaire system, and overhauled contour terrain system. The result is gritty, it's believable, I dare say it's got ambience. Most importantly, it sets the perfect stage for multiplayer combat. On that note, here's Matt with more on modes and missions ahead.
We talked a little bit about where you'll play, but let's talk about what you'll play when you get there. In Black Ops Cold War, our classic game modes are returning and they're better than ever. From the tried and true Team Deathmatch, Domination, and Search and Destroy, to the return of the competitive game mode Control, we've taken a fresh eye to all of your favorites. We're encouraging more meaningful gameplay with larger capture zones and Domination. We're updating spawn systems in Hardpoint, and now we show you where the next Hardpoint will spawn so you can regroup, rotate, and set up for the next fight. Across all of our classic modes, we're working hard to make this the most rewarding and competitive multiplayer experience yet. So while your go-to modes are coming back better than ever, let's talk about the innovative new modes you'll be going to next. With that, let me introduce you to my teammate Marquise Gladney, who's here to tell you about the brand new multiplayer experience we call VIP Escort.
This was cool.
VIP Escort began with a question. How can we create a game mode inspired by the kind of real-life, totally true, but completely redacted Black Ops that first inspired this franchise? The result is Extraction in its purest form, a new 6-on-6 objective-based game mode we call VIP Escort. In Black Ops, we normally task you with fighting, but VIP Escort turns that on its head with a new mechanic. If you're selected as a VIP, your number one job is to live.
This will be on my
In
YouTube
this team-based op, your team will try to escort you off the map or eliminate the other team trying to stop you. As VIP, you'll skip create a class. You're too important after all. Instead, you'll deploy with a kitted out pistol, a smoke grenade, a spy plane for team intel, and a whole lot of hope that your team knows what the hell it's doing. The mission? Stay alive and escape the map. To do so, you'll need to reach one of 2 possible exfil sites, which rotate over the course of the match to keep teams on their toes. There are stakes here. If you die, that ends the round. But team up and you can get your squad back on their feet quickly via last stand and revive.
It's pretty cool, man.
Each team's choices and tactics create layers of strategy and counterplay, injecting the best of Black Ops themes directly into this competition. Will your team pull Cold War mind games and misdirection by splitting up the squad to draw fire and create distractions for the VIP? Or is a
Wait, can you make sure Nix video just went live too? I hope I didn't do that early.
detail, or take a bullet for you Secret Service style? My personal keys to victory? I stay close and escort the VIP and defend them at all costs. If the VIP doesn't make it out alive, it won't matter if you do. This new deniable operation only scratches the surface of what it means to play Cold War multiplayer.
Up next, we want to share another new way to play that goes above and beyond that classic 6v6 experience you've come to expect. Combined Arms is where multiplayer gets bigger and badder, bringing together the best of multiplayer's large-scale battles by combining infantry and vehicular gameplay into a single cohesive combat experience. In Combined Arms Domination, players will deploy into 12 versus 12 battles, each customized and unique to its own environment. But these battles aren't just bigger or more chaotic. We've worked hard to ensure the 2 levels of boots on the ground and all-out vehicular warfare complement and enhance one another on each map. Tanks, snowmobiles, wake runners, gunboats, and more. These vehicles amplify the action, sure, but they also create jaw-dropping moments right in the middle of the fight. The way I personally play Combined Arms depends on my mood. If I'm going for the win, it's rally time, and I'm pushing to capture every objective on the map. Whether that means loading up a gunboat on Armada or popping smokes so my team can cross the frozen lake and crossroads, I'm putting my try-hard pants on and making it happen. And that's the thing, in Combined Arms, almost anything can happen. I'll seek out fun moments that aren't possible in other modes, like ziplining onto the enemy ship and seeing how long I can last before getting taken out. At launch, you can expect even more Combined Arms maps and modes, each tailored and tuned to bring the most fun, frenetic action this format can deliver. Take Armada, our most unique map to date. You saw earlier that the only life preservers on this sea-based map are your tactics, as each capture zone requires a different approach. Will you attack surgically with a 2-seater wake runner, gather your squad and storm the main ship? From ziplines that traverse the map to all new naval tactics, Armada is Combined Arms Domination realized, bringing high stakes, high-speed combat to the high seas. On Crossroads, you'll trade your wetsuit for a snowsuit, fighting for control of Soviet bunkers across the frozen tundra. With high-powered tanks patrolling the frozen lake and surrounding roads, you'll need to choose how to take on those slow movers. So whether you're hopping onto a snowmobile for a quick flake, or rolling up your sleeves and sticking on some C4, the story is yours to write in Combined Arms Domination.
Stop saying
That's it for denial operations for now. We ziplined, crossed frozen lakes, and dipped into Miami's beaches. It's really just the start of the full deniable ops experience. Add up the work on your favorite classic game modes to the arrival of new modes like VIP Escort and Combined Arms Domination, and it all stacks up to our most ambitious multiplayer yet. One you can play any way you want and in new ways you never expected. If you're a Call of Duty League fan, we have a bunch of new stuff lined up just for you. Stay tuned. This may be a multiplayer game built for everyone, but these will be your deniable operations.
Pause.
And now, I'll turn it over to Tony to talk about what we mean when we say signature combat.
Thanks, Matt. Now, a lot has changed for us since the first Black Ops game.
So,
From our development pipelines to totally new technologies, but some things haven't changed. And after over a decade of making Black Ops games, we're more inspired than ever to keep honing in on that authentic, classic Black Ops feel, all while taking it to new heights. Now we know that to you, combat is more than just pointing and shooting. It's about how your operator moves and weaves through your surroundings. It's feeling the power of your weapon, how it reacts in your hands. It's the sound of bullets storming past you, the rattle and bang of firing your weapon. In Cold War, we're back to plausible, authentic, boots-on-the-ground combat. And that has allowed us to not only refine the feel of the game, but build on all the classic foundations of Black Ops. Heads-up gameplay, automated healing, and grounded movement. Keeping your player experience in the front of our minds has also inspired a fresh wave of thinking across our creative class and score streak system, where we're introducing features that bring unprecedented transparency to your planning and cinematic wow moments for when you're playing. Now, innovating systems while still capturing that signature Black Ops super smooth feel is a notoriously tricky thing to get just right, and we put everything we have into it for each game. This is an absolute team effort, so I brought some of my friends from the combat team to help tell you about our initiatives for this game and how they've resulted in signature combat that feels just right. Here's Max Porter to start us off.
We've taken lessons learned from across Black Ops and the entire Call of Duty franchise to land on a truly best-in-class weapon experience. The gun is almost always right in front of you and must look great. From a gun's seams down to its grime, the level of detail in Black Ops Cold War has never been higher. Our weapons also need to move in a realistic manner. You'll feel it in this game, whether you're clocking from long range or firing from the hip. When we think about a gun, we think about the way it looks, the way it's going to move, but a big part of the gun's personality is the sound that it makes. It's like the bark of a dog.
The gunplay in this game was dope.
All these guns as characters. That just adds to that level of realism and that sort of immersive quality that is unique to Call of Duty. It's this multifaceted approach to how weapons look, animate, and sound that together defines the feel of Cold War's signature gunfighting experience. Here's Alvin with a debrief on some of the other combat systems waiting for you in Cold War.
Pause, champ.
Let's talk about two of the most significant and impactful features of multiplayer. Create a class and score streaks. Our goal with Create a Class in Cold War is to empower you without making trade-offs. This year, better starts with simple. Create a Class will be a slot-based system.
See how
No
wild
longer
card at the
governed
bottom?
by allocations or the Pick 10 system.
Huge.
You'll always boast
Huge.
a full class of a primary, secondary, lethal, tactical, field upgrade, and a set of perks. Field upgrades are items placed in the world to give your team an advantage. You can earn them solely based on time, not score, and they are the only type of game content that works in a cooldown that lasts after death. Now, wild cards are back. In this system, in every class, you can pick one of 4 wild cards that let you do things like load your primary weapon with up to 8 attachments,
Gunfighter where it's
carry
at.
up to 6 perks, double the number of lethals and tacticals you have, or carry 3 primary perks from any mix of categories.
Gunfighter, you can make your gun insane, bro.
Class is the gunsmith. In Black Ops Cold War, there are more optics and attachments to unlock and configure than ever before. Every primary weapon can be customized with 54 attachments across 8 different nodes or attachment points, with at least 6 options per attachment. By default, you can equip 5 attachments,
Crazy.
or 8 with the Gunfighter wildcard. For the first
The
time,
Gunfighter wildcard
Gunsmith will
stat,
show you what equipping
you can get all of them.
attachment does,
It's crazy, bro.
positive or negative percentage.
It's a
You can now
W.
build backwards, specking out the perfect gun for results you want to
When
see.
I was trying to record this for YouTube,
This
I
takes
didn't
the
even know
guesswork
how
out of
to
the system.
explain everything.
It helps
It was
us
too
on
much.
our never-ending quest to make the most balanced Call of Duty game you've ever played. There's one more thing I need to talk about. First up, we've updated score streaks so that earned score is kept through death. This change gives all players a chance to engage with score streaks, one of the most visceral and fun experiences across multiplayer's signature combat. If you do go on a streak and string together multiple kills before your own death, streak score bonuses help you earn into those higher-powered score streak tiers. To prevent score streak spam, each score streak will go on a cooldown after it's used to pace out frequency. So, what score streaks are we talking about? Well, your favorites are back, but we've also got a few surprises. Score streaks in Cold War can be used in all classic ways. To aid in taking an objective, to save your team, to break up the pace of the game.
You know what's interesting? When I was playing, I kept feeling like I was getting my score streaks when I didn't earn them. And that's why it went through my
Now
death.
I'll pass it over
I
to
didn't
Sonny
realize
to
that.
share more about our operators, and how they move in Black Ops Cold War.
Elites, covert, powerful. When you play as a Cold War operator, you won't just step into the boots of a highly trained precision instrument. Every movement will have a purpose. To increase the fidelity and feel of even the smallest elements, modelers, animators, and concept artists all work side by side, planning for every point of contact with every gun, every stance and position, every scenario. Thanks to increased dynamic bone counts, we've been able to enhance the effects of physics and gravity on what you carry, from the weight of your gear, like pouches and grenades, to the way a wallet chain or rope sways as you sprint. Your entire operator will move more naturally than ever. Here's 4 specific ways movement has improved through new cutting-edge techniques in animation and programmatic movement. The first is sprint takeoff. This is the feature that gives your operator a running start. You start with a little sprint, and then it slows down to normal speed. This lets you feel the momentum of like where you're going and where you're going to end up. We wanted to preserve the fluidity and fun of an operator's ability to slide. In Black Ops Cold War, when you slide, you start and end in a crouch position in a believable way. This allows 2-player movement states to function better as one, all while improving gameplay and enhancing pace. Footstep control also plays a big part of the new movement system. Go faster and you'll make more noise. Of course, we still have Ninja as a perk, but Ninja is no longer the only way to keep quiet. Whether or not you're crouched, how loud you get is now directly tied to how fast you're moving.
Footsteps in this game are really
we
interesting.
incorporated a classic jump with a much more natural hike.
With
which will vary
Ninja,
if you
I heard
slow
everything.
down on landing. Our goal in all of these movement mechanics is to ensure operators' actions are not just authentic, but intuitive. When you press a button or a key, you should always feel in control of your operator. And this system has been built to translate your decisions into dynamic movement more seamlessly than ever. The era of the game might be the 80s, but the characters you play will move and shoot like the world's most highly skilled operators.
Signature combat. It isn't just how a gun is shot, it's how that gun feels, how it sounds, how it's designed to create a combat experience. And combat isn't just about conflict.
Sniping in this
It's
game
also
chat was
movement.
incredible,
So
bro.
the fluid ways in which your operators shift
It
around
felt
the AO and carry the gear you outfit them in is just as important as the choices you give them. Choices like the overhauled Creative Class system, or all of those attachment possibilities in Gunsmith, or the new ways you can earn and deploy score streaks in the thick of battle. These combat initiatives work together to deliver the most intuitive, plausible, authentic, boots-on-the-ground experience possible, and they're at the heart of Black Ops Cold War. Now, on that note, I'd like to introduce Miles, who's going to discuss some of the biggest innovations yet.
Thanks, Tony. All right, everyone, let's talk Warzone. You've seen how we're pouring it all into the Cold War multiplayer experience, but let's confirm it right here, right now. Black Ops Cold War will also usher in the next evolution of Call of Duty Warzone, continuing and expanding the blockbuster Battle Royale free-to-play experience. And it'll be a true evolution, with Warzone not merely picking up where the Modern Warfare climax left off narratively, but also interweaving the themes, locations, weapons, and vehicles of Black Ops Cold War right into the action. Cold War and Warzone will also share post-launch content from a narrative standpoint across both the Battle Pass system and item shop content. This interlinks Call of Duty in ways that evolve the Warzone experience while delivering jaw-dropping moments. So yeah, you can expect some surprises along the way. One surprise we're avoiding is the feeling of starting over. It's important to us that you can still use your characters, weapons, and progression-related items.
That's a big
Why investment and progress in Cold War is reflected in Warzone. While these are two very big games, from the beginning they've been built to work together. Your player experience is everything to us. So we're making sure Black Ops Cold War and Warzone share progression, with much of your previously earned Modern Warfare content, from weapons to cosmetics, still available for use in both Warzone and Modern Warfare. We're collaborating with our studio partners across Call of Duty to preserve continuity while building a new chapter of Warzone that will immerse you into all of the best elements of Black Ops Cold War.
Say something about ADT. Come on!
That's multiple studios totally committed to continuing this new tradition of insanely fun, absurdly accessible Warzone action. We can't wait for you to see how Verdansk and all of Call of Duty will evolve in the year ahead. But that sense of interconnectedness extends beyond just Warzone. That's why I'm excited to confirm that Black Ops Cold War will not only support cross-platform play and progression, but will also deliver cross-generation play to the game. That's because Black Ops Cold War is, at its heart, a connected experience. Playing together on whatever platforms you prefer only betters that experience. Cross-play and cross-progression across current and next-generation systems across all modes.
That's sick.
That won't be easy, but it's worth it to allow fans who have never had a chance to play together to squad up and deploy, no barriers between them. And with a Battle Pass system delivering a steady stream of post-launch content, Black Ops Cold War will be the very first cross-platform, cross-generation Call of Duty experience, making it the deepest game in franchise history. Vaughn, where do we go next?
Yeah, Miles, on the subject of platforms, we've got a very special guest, Mark from Linux.
Hey, what's up, Van? On behalf of Linux, we are extremely excited and proud to bring Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War to battle as the lead PC developer. PC continues to be a critically important pillar of game development for the Call of Duty franchise. In addition to the major improvements we have made to Call of Duty PC in the past, including uncapped frame rates, high refresh rate support, and customized field of view, we're always looking for ways to improve features and customizable settings. One of the biggest improvements this year is that the Black Ops engine now runs on DirectX 12. This has led to a huge improvement in terms of performance and latency reduction. For players who prioritize immersive gameplay, we have a great partnership with NVIDIA to bring ray trace effects, performance accelerating deep learning super sampling or DLSS, and ray trace latency optimization technology. We will implement ray trace shadows and ambient occlusion to improve the quality of light shadow and sunlight shadow. This improves surface and contact detail and fixes problems associated with traditional shadow mapping techniques like aliasing, flickering, and disconnected shadows. Also, we will be implementing AI-powered DLSS, so players will be able to increase their frame rate while maintaining the visual quality of the game. For players looking for better responsiveness, we've integrated the Reflex low latency technology to lower system latency. This combines both GPU and game optimization. We're also happy to announce that Reflex will be coming to Call of Duty Warzone in the future. We have so much more to talk about, but right now I would like to hand it back to David Van. Van?
We've declassified a whole lot today, and one thing is clear. Black Ops Cold War is here, and it's ushering in a new chapter of deniable operations that are undeniably Call of Duty at its very best. Realistic, plausible, gritty. You've seen our team-wide commitment to storytelling, infusing the story and spirit of the Cold War narrative into everything we do, even in multiplayer. You've seen our emphasis on authenticity shine through every location, every weapon, every vehicle, every character. Each one telling a story we can't wait for you to uncover and experience. You've seen us challenge ourselves to not only innovate on classic game modes, but introduce a new generation of instant classics. Modes like VIP Escort and Combined Arms Domination. You'll see that duo play today, and it's just the start, as we've got massive drops of free content planned post-launch, including new and limited time modes. No matter what type of multiplayer gamer you are, you'll find something for you. Tying it all together is that signature combat you love. Grounded and always realistic, you'll move fast and fluid. Feel powerful when you need to be, and customized just the way you want to be. The new Creative Class and Score Streak systems give you even more of what you love, infusing more control and cinematic moments with less friction between you and the gameplay than ever before. And this is a true connected experience. Warzone and Cold War. The events in one will impact the events in the other, expanding Call of Duty in new ways you've never seen before. And Black Ops Cold War is not only a cross-platform game, but it's also a cross-generation, cross-platform game. Now, that should be the end of our show, but this wouldn't be a Black Ops multiplayer reveal without some Black Ops style mind games. We have talked a lot today about what Black Ops is, how it feels, what it does, but for over 10 years, Black Ops is also something else. A game that consistently presses the boundaries about what multiplayer means. Our team relentlessly looks for opportunities to offer new types of multiplayer experiences. In Black Ops Cold War, we're excited to be launching an entire new category of multiplayer gameplay called Fire Team. What? This new format of multiplayer brings together everything that we loved about making Cold War and everything you'll love about playing Cold War. Across every Fire Team mission and mode, you'll discover some of the most imaginative game loops we have ever designed. The Fire Team format allows us to emphasize teamwork and reward creativity. And it allows you to do things you've never done in Black Ops multiplayer before. You'll fight in squads of 4 called Fire Teams. You'll deploy into larger maps, play fast, pushing through multiplayer objectives and modes that demand quick thinking. The action won't just affect you, but the environment you battle in. Enter Fire Team Dirty Bomb, one of the most unique game loops we've ever imagined. You and your team must search for uranium. Then, deliver that uranium to Dirty Bomb's position around the map. Deposit uranium and detonate the bomb. Now, avoid radioactive fallout as you navigate a toxic battlefield. Every decision you make impacts your survival rate and your success rate. We can't wait to tell you even more about Fire Team Dirty Bomb and the other Fire Team modes and maps in the weeks ahead as we get closer to our public beta. I guess there's only one thing left to do. Let's play Black Ops Cold War.
Wait, I think I'm up. I have to wait. Whips is playing the thing.